So the final lecture, which brings together what we've done so far on the ICA gap analysis exercise. It's going to be a pretty short one. Okay, we'll talk about a couple of former students first. Here's an exercise based on 2 businesses run successfully by recent TU for graduates. Jodie's My Breakfast Box has received wide publicity and many plaudits, including the Guardian article linked here. She markets direct from her own business space. Angelica's F-Eat business also markets directly, but in addition has a virtual shop on Amazon. Now, if you click on the links here and here and here, if you want to read the Guardian article, you'll see the sort of things they do and how they approach marketing and communication to their potential customers. So here's the activity. Do these in your own in a small group. Bear in mind, you should be using the review here to help inform marketing strategies for your product. But it's okay to sort of get together and, you know, perhaps review what's been done in a particular in one of the 2 websites. That'll be just fine. Okay, I'm going to talk a bit about the assignment structure and marking. There's a lot of stuff we're going to put in this, so let's make sure we get everything in. If you don't do a category, obviously you can't get any marks for that, which is not what we want. And then it's a question of how well you do it. Of course, I'm sure you'll all do very well. Here's a summary of the requirements for the assignment. Later in the presentation, this will be linked to the marketing and feedback model. I'm not going to go into details here, other than note that you should review the lectures FSPDE LA1 Gap Analysis 1 and 2. There's some pictures there from the relevant slides, but you need to read around the whole lecture. Mintel will be one of the key information sources. You should have figured that out already. As noted before, we'll focus on the key details needed to support your business plan. So don't lose yourself in the detail, I will say yet again. Lots of good stuff in Mintel. There really is. It's a great resource. If you were paying for this, it would be costing you several thousands of pounds just to look at one report. So it's quite a good bargain as part of your fees. It helps you develop your professional skills in this area. Okay, I've mentioned the analysis of the corn range I did. There's no absolute need for you to do this, and if you don't want to do it, that's fine. It may be hard to get the information together. We'll discuss the appropriateness of doing this sort of analysis in the module. You obviously need to. Corn's quite good because it's a single range, and though it's got quite a lot of products, it isn't a huge range. It's not like Heinz or someone. But you know, you may look at some of the more recent startups that have come forward, Innocent and Hewell and people like that. Okay. What we need to include, you need to include both perceptive and objective maps of competing products. This is the key to identifying maps of the market and justifying your product. So there's lots of information, and the spreadsheets are available as well. You'll also need both a SWOT and a Pugh matrix for your assignment. SWOT on your product, the Pugh matrix on your competitors, but you maybe want to include your product as well. Yeah, demographics from Acom. This is from FSPDE L2b Marketing. Part of the assignment brief is to suggest a demographic group who might be a good target market for your products. Mintel will help you identify a group, and Acom will help you identify its key characteristics, especially with respect to marketing. Again, don't go mad on the details. Identify a group, think about the key characteristics, and think about how this may inform the way you plan your marketing. Your proposal should include comments on a proposed marketing plan. Again, see the 2 students' approach earlier for some really good examples. Cost and practicalities are the key. You won't be able to afford the Goodyear blimp or TV marketing. So inevitably social media is going to be important. But just don't leave it at that. Don't just say, oh, we're going to use social media. Cite some relevant examples and briefly comment on a possible approach for your products. The marketing scheme is the standard one for essays, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. Those who are joining us in the final year, it's pretty straightforward. I'll go into more detail than quite a few people do in my marketing scheme, and we'll look at that in a second. As usual, I've broken the scheme down a bit further, both help you structure your report and help ensure a consistent framework for marking. So, for example, under structure, I've got some comments on introduction and format. Under format, I do expect a professional standard report with all the standard elements. These include cover page, headings, page numbers, and a table of contents derived directly from headings. If you aren't sure about how to do any of this, see this video down here on creating a standard document in Word. Okay, so continuing, any information you use must be cited and referenced in Harvard format. So that would include information from documents, information on the web, information from papers, wherever you get it from. You need to reference everything. And you should have a references bibliography page at the end of the report. Okay, and that's all for that. Thanks for listening.